Well, I'm glad to see everyone here. Another week in January. We're on the Watchdogs on our Black Media. And Carlton, it looks like you made it. And Chandra made it. Chandra's in a border state. I'm excited they didn't deport her back to Haiti.
Child, I've been staying in the house with my papers.
With your black job.
With my black job and my papers. But my black job has been affected by all of these changes and turmoil.
Child, I want funny story before we start. So my kids, as everybody knows, the area I drive. The kids been telling the other kids on the bus, "You getting deported."
Why are you getting deported?
They've been telling the other kids, "You getting deported."
Oh no!
And I have to continuously for like the past week. Now let's keep in mind that the school district is being paid a visit by ICE. They put out a whole public statement in the news. So yes, ICE is actually coming to schools here in Chatham County.
So if ICE comes to the school, does the parent get notified if the child is detained or something like that? Which is weird, but
yes. Let me say it like they get notified, but the one thing that I will say, it's going to wind up being a situation that happened many years ago. If you recall that they separated the parents from the kids at the border and they put the kids in the detention, they deported the parents or did whatever with them, and then they put the kids into the system and they were raised by American families. Basically, that's what's going to wind up happening.
Yes. Yes. And I saw ICE in our area today, and I had mixed reactions to it, because you have to understand that ICE is not just coming for the Hispanics, Mexicans. They're coming for the Venezuelans. They're coming for the Chinese folk. They're coming for the Haitians and the Africans, all of them that were using that Mexican trailway to get over the border, So everybody that's in the United States that's either have overstayed their documentation, or have not obtained the correct documentation yet, whether you've been here 10 days or 3 decades, you are at risk of being deported to a country that you might not even speak the language. So,
it's not even the ones. It's not even just the ones who haven't obtained their proper documentation. Based off what I have been to my understanding, if you are not a natural born citizen, basically your grandmother would have had to been a citizen, is what from what I'm gathering. There's a possibility that you could be deported.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have already came out and stated that the 14th Amendment birthright citizenship only applied to those who are descendants of slaves. So that means that everybody else is up for grabs.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not mad at it, because I can't say I told you so enough. And when we were saying, hey guys, Project 2025, y'all really need to be paying attention to this because it's real. And then you had stupid asses on YouTube, Black people just like us, from Houston, just like me, saying, nah, y'all don't need to go out there and vote and support the Democrats. What have they done for you? Okay, you about to see right now when everything is about to be turned upside down. for a lot of people in a lot of, not just with them snatching your family members off, off the streets and from their jobs and everything. But, I mean, just today we got an email saying that we can't celebrate Black History Month. Now
I'm gonna tell you about laughing. How you
Black
gonna tell me what the hell I'm gonna celebrate?
Well, we can't do any events on our job.
Right.
And we've been celebrating Black History Month forever. But because of this executive order that he signed talking about DEI events and things like that, did you know that it encompasses Black history, Hispanic history, LGBTQ, out and allied, and all of that?
FYI, they have taken the T off of it on the state website. Now it just says LGB. So the T is no longer a thing.
But you know what, Chandra? This is a great opportunity for people to really make his ass mad. I'm gonna tell you how. You might tell my job we can't celebrate it, but right outside that damn gate, I will have the biggest blow up doll with an afro, all kind of just foolishness, just making pissed off. Just do that because I can't wait. And T.S. Madison talked about this. I cannot wait until somebody says, you a man, you ain't no woman, go use it. And a man with a dress go in the men's bathroom, and I cannot wait till all the vice versa. See, I want people to use this for humor and to play him right at his game. You don't want to celebrate Pride? Fine. We'll come paint the White House fence red, all the colors, and put a big transgender flag right in the front of the White House. Let's do it.
I want people to realize that DEI does not refer to Black people.
No.
DEI is referring to white women. Because if you really pay attention to what is the main focus, and this guy said it about why he actually voted for the orange pumpkin that we got sitting in the Oval Office. He said he voted for them because of his own personal interest. He said because everybody knows that by the year 2040 that the majority will be the minority. So we got to get these working women up out of here and put them back in the house. We got to get them back to being housewives, and we got to stop them to having these babies, even though they are becoming very barren.
Well, what they're suggesting too, by saying the way that the other side of the rhetoric that they're using is to say, you know what, the only reason this person of color got this particular position is because we just basically forgot all of our hiring rules and forgot they don't have no competency. But the only reason they got hired because they were a person of color. We needed this one black face in the. That ain't how it works. What it does and what it continues to do is to offer a conscious framework for white men in particular who tend to think that they're the only educated people on this earth. And what it does, and I'm not talking about all, so I don't want people to get pissed, but what it does is to say, you know what? When you are hiring, for example, teachers, we understand the historical value that most teachers in our lifetime have been white women. You know, there are black men that could be teachers, maybe. So you gotta, it gives people that kind of a lens to look at things a little differently because we didn't have that. Same thing, but you know, the sad thing about incompetent people are people who have small private parts. They don't understand stuff and they're insecure, and they have to do things to make people feel that people see their power. But it's just powerless when you fail to realize that it's actually differences of opinions that make organizations stronger.
Exactly. And it's not just people's color or ethnicity,
Mm-hmm.
but it encompasses veterans.
Yeah.
It encompasses um, uh, uh, persons with disabilities, both seen and unseen.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can be a person with dyslexia and and get a job, whereas in the past, they wouldn't even consider you, for certain jobs.
Yeah.
You can be a person that discloses that I have ADD, and you could be at the table, you know, being in management positions and things like that. So it's not just, when people talk about DEI, they're always thinking about, oh, this is how the black people get it.
Right.
No, this is how everybody gets a seat at the table. This is how everybody gets a seat at the table. And even our people 50 plus, this is how they keep a seat at the table,
Yeah.
because there's discrimination even in hiring or retaining elderly people 50 plus. I'm not going to call them elderly, but people 50 plus,
Right.
or hiring people that don't even have more than 5 years of experience under their belt. It's, it used to be very hard to break into corporate America unless you knew somebody that knew somebody,
Right.
especially I mean, if you were young.
Mm-hmm.
Young people had problems just like older people have problems. So how do you retain it? And it's not about the hiring. Hiring is one part of it,
Right.
but it's the retaining them. It's the training them. It's all of those things, engaging them. So DEI has to do with so many facets, more than just what you think, and stop following the other sheep, people, you know, because look it up for yourself so that you'll know that the person that's occupying the White House right now is an idiot, because he doesn't even know what DEI is.
Well,
So,
what do you all say against people that? And I've heard a number of things, but the one that strikes me a lot is how people have used their vote as a weapon, right? Not as a conscious decision, but a weapon. And what I mean by that, you hear people use the term, "Well, I didn't vote for Trump; I just voted against Kamala."
well,
Stupidity.
mm-hmm.
Voting
Because
against their own best interest, because this is the problem. People are sick because people have because I cannot remember the name of that movie, but Terry Crews was the president, and in the movie, a guy who had a very low IQ in the past was frozen in the time capsule and then moved to the future. And then everybody was slow except him. He was like the smartest person. And that movie is so. After I thought about it one time when it randomly popped in my head, I said it proves the point of today. Because genuinely, when you look at statistics, people are uneducated. The uneducated that are going to go for what they know. We have a tendency to vote by who our parents voted for. We don't have the tendency to look at our own views and look up, oh, this is not in my best interest, or this person is in my best interest. But it just comes down to the people get simple questions because they got simple answers. They didn't get no long, feel like nothing long and complicated what they had to look up. They didn't want to look it up. People don't want to look up nothing anymore. They don't want to do their own research. All that man had to say was three simple sentences. I'm gonna load groceries. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And they fell for a hook, line, and sinker. and now they are dealing with the consequences of their own actions.
Mm-hmm. And getting on social media, what has tickled me in the last couple of days is you have a lot of Hispanics getting on social media talking about the Black people have no conscience and they need to be supporting them and rallying with them and protesting with them. And I'm laughing down to my feet because if you look at the statistics of how everybody voted, Carlton, you know, Black women came out in droves to help this, Kamala get into office. But y'all Hispanics,
the 92%.
yes, y'all Hispanics came out and y'all overwhelmingly, as they say, voted for Trump. So if y'all overwhelmingly voted for your oppressor, kiss my entire ass.
Not the entire.
You can make TikTok videos until you're blue in the face, until your mama come back from the grave. I don't care, because we did what we were supposed to do. And now that y'all are suffering the consequences for your stupidity, and it didn't take long for you to start suffering I mean, it didn't even take a whole year. It was like karma, like instant karma. So don't make any more videos. Just take pictures of your loved ones that you're not going to see next year at the family get the barbecue or whatever y'all have, cancenetters or whatever y'all do.
But you're absolutely right. The 92% and the 85, with 92 being Black women, the 85% of Black men, we did our job. We have, and this is the thing what people are feeling with, just like you said, they are saying, why are we not out protesting with them? Why are we not doing this? We are tired of being the backbone of every movement in this country that fights for the equality, for that everybody benefits of. And I watched a TikTok video of a guy who stated, he said, it is not Black people's time. He said it is up to every other minority community in this country's time to step up and do the same thing that they are raising Cain for Black people not doing. Y'all blamed us for everything, but then when it came time when we rallied up, we did what we were supposed to do because we knew what was going to happen. We have been through this. Our grandmothers and great grandmothers, we share this down the line about what has happened throughout the years when we don't do a certain thing. We know y'all would not take the insight from the people who have been through it. So now you're gonna have to go through it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, look, let's hit up. We're going for a break, and I'm gonna come back with a video and we'll talk about it. Hold tight, y'all.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
I'm LaTanya Flick, Senior Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Partnership. What is diversity, equity, inclusion, or DEI? this 3-letter amorphous acronym that you've heard everywhere. So let's start with the D for diversity. We think of diversity as composition across many facets of identity, and that could be race, gender, age, LGBTQIA status, veteran status, class, so many factors of identity, but it's about composition. The E is for equity, and we think of equity as the condition that exists when identity no longer determines outcome. So those factors of identity that I just talked about no longer are a predictor of what happens to someone. And then I, it's for inclusion, and inclusion is about experience. Do you have a sense of belonging? Can you be authentic? Can you bring your full self to work? So diversity, composition, equity, outcome, inclusion, experience. That's DEI. I'm Latanya Flicks.
And so with that, you all, I think, and y'all know this, I've studied this. This is my world. The thing for me that stood out when given her framework is one, somehow either Trump and his team believe we have achieved some type of equity, which we have not. But the part of inclusion that is alarming and scary is not tell people this sense of belonging. If you don't have a sense of belonging in a space, you're not going to want to be there. You're not going to want to participate. You don't feel attached to it. And that's one of the things in dealing with college students. If they don't have a sense of belonging in that space on that campus, they're likely going to leave. And so with him firing all of these people in the federal government, creating these ass-kissing oligarchs, and basically putting loyalists in place, is getting really dangerous and looking a lot like how Putin built this foolishness with Russia. So that's my takeaway from that. It's just that's a real danger, and people are taking it for granted. And I think on the Rabble we talked about it, and folks are like, well, he wouldn't really do that. Are y'all serious right now? So just what are y'all's reaction on that?
Well, if somebody tells you and writes you a letter telling you, hey, at 4:00 on Friday, on January the 31st, I'm coming to murder your entire family. And this is how I'm going to do it. And they got out of prison 4 years ago, okay, for murder. Would you not believe them if they told you what they were planning on doing? Would you say to yourself, oh, I don't believe that he would really murder my whole family, even though he wrote it in a letter? He gave you a whole letter about what he was going to do. So when somebody tells you in a manifesto called Project 2025 that they're going to, this is what we're going to do to the federal government, this is what we're going to do to DEI, this is how we feel about your specific situation, why didn't anybody believe it?
Well, I'm gonna say it like this to reiterate your point. Yes, like the old saying goes, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. But the problem came when you have people who don't comprehend, who don't listen to comprehend. They only listen to what and pick out. They have selective amnesia, and they heard this said person say, "I don't know anything about that. That has nothing to do with what I have planned." And continuously states, I don't have anything planned to do that. But then you are submitting all this proof. But the person who they believe, the person who is their savior is saying, I don't know nothing about this. We ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't have nothing to do with it. I don't know nothing about it. Continues to say the same thing. That's why. Because if back before November 5th, if he had stated outright that, yes, this is my plan, this is what we're going to do, he would never have saw that seat, and he knew that. he used his knowledge. I ain't gonna say he used because he ain't got none. But the people around him used the knowledge of what they knew about how people will respond to that, and they equitably left it out. They continued to tell people about it. What would happen? Doing this, and they just didn't believe it. That's how that happened.
But Carlton, me and you are friends, right? We are on this show together. Me, you, and RG. And technically, the United States, everybody that watches this show believe that me, you, and Carlton talk to one another, right? So if you write something, if you are out there in these streets doing something, they believe that me and RG know your shenanigans. True or not true? Okay? So if 99 of your associates have wrote on this letter, wrote on this manifesto, what are the chances that you don't know about it? I don't know about it.
Help make it make sense.
Make it make sense. I mean, I know all I have is two masters and a PhD, but
I hear exactly what you're saying. But when you got to remind, we have all been ascended to the level of higher education. So we have the knowledge that if somebody tells us something and it sounds funny, we have the ability to do our own research. But when I want you to think about this. This is a perfect example. If it's like when you tell a small child, when you cooking and they go by the stove, it's hot, don't touch it, it's hot, and they don't listen to you until they put their hand up there and they be like, "Ow, I told you it was hot." That's what we are in the moment of.
I mean, it's, and y'all know that I went through a deep depression from November the 5th, and I stopped watching the news from November the 5th until like the 23rd of this month. I watched a little bit of the news, but nothing like I used to.
Right.
I couldn't even contribute to this show because I stopped watching the news. But it's amazing to me now how so many people have buyer's remorse. Well, I voted for him, but I didn't know he was going to do that. I didn't know he was going to put a freeze on all hiring for the federal government. And now my wife, we done sold our house. This is what's going on over here in Texas, y'all. Right. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but this lady, she was supposed to get a job working for the VA, a nurse working for the VA.
Not no more.
And the husband, he's all on social media tagging Elon Musk and the president's page and everything because he's saying, I voted for you and I didn't think that you would do this to me and my family. Oh, but you don't care how many other families he's impacted. Right. Just not you and your family. Oh, okay. Well, yes, sir. And they done sold a house and everything, and they rescinded her offer. Well, see, these are the consequences for not reading the fine print.
Well, Here's the thing. I don't understand. And there's a lot. There's so much out there with this whole situation, and I'll start here. If nothing else, if the criminal justice system and the legal system are not adjusted after this, we're gonna have a major problem, especially because you mean to tell me a person who was convicted, whether you want to believe it was hogwash or not, a man was convicted of a felony and did nothing, didn't even pay a damn fine. So you telling me all these black men and all these people and all these low-income folks are in jail for speeding tickets and a marijuana charge, and ain't nobody like this? Doesn't make it make sense. So we've got to do some serious reforming, if nothing else, with the legal system. Because my thing is this, y'all. I knew he wasn't going to jail. It's just bad optics. But you mean to tell me he couldn't pay $1.50? Like, come on with the mess.
Well, that's why it needs to be a revolt. That's why it needs to be. Carlton, you on mute. Carlton?
You're on mute.
We can still can't hear you.
Try it now. You might have to take your Bluetooth off.
But that's the reason why it needs to be a full out revolt. We still can't hear you, Carlton.
Well, watch this. I was watching the movie Rustin, and I encourage everybody to go to Netflix and watch Rustin about being at Rustin. But don't you realize, I want y'all to watch this. I want you to compare the March on Washington to January 8th or 6th, whatever it was.
6.
Compare the two. So you mean to tell me the March on Washington was so peaceful and they label MLK a terrorist, but you got these fools breaking windows and they get out of jail.
And shitting and beating, sitting inside the Capitol and beating up police.
Right.
The very next Republican that says back the blue to me, I'm a pimp slap their ass.
Yeah, you can't hit them now. You're gonna go. They're gonna put you in jail. You going to jail. You're not cream. As Carter would say, you're not one of them.
If they ever,
we can't hear you. We might go out and come back in.
That cannot be part of their motto ever again. Back the blue, back my ass. Because y'all don't back the blue. If y'all can dump 1,600 terrorists back into society after they brutalize all of these police officers, and y'all don't see a problem with it, and y'all holler about, but the immigrants are the problem. No, y'all are the problem. Y'all are the problem. And if your supporters don't see anything wrong with this, now you ain't called it.
Yeah, go for it.
If your supporters don't see anything wrong with this, they're the problems too.
Well, I was trying my train of thought, but you do realize the president of the police union is now they're bashing him.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear none. They need to bash themselves, because at the end of the day.
But this is the thing about it, and this is the funny part of it that I find, is the fact that he pardoned them, but slowly, one by one, they are slowly disappearing off the map for supernatural reasons, like prison. One of them was a pedophile gone. One of them committed a crash right after from a crash that was right after that. One of them got killed because he decided he was going to fight a police officer gone. Those people feel like they are above the law. That man presented them as they were above, if not presented that they are above the law. So they feel like they're going to do everything. But the one thing that they fail to realize is that man may have pardoned them on a federal level, well, he didn't pardon. He may have commuted the sentence on a federal level, but when they go back to their home states gonna tear that ass up.
Exactly, because he can't pardon the state,
No,
and you know, and those type of people with that type of mentality, they're bound to find themselves in incarcerated again. So you don't have to, I mean, we don't have to really worry about them. They're going to take care of their own selves. But you can't scaremonger us with the immigrants. These immigrants, when you just dump 1,600 insurrectionists and criminals out into our societies, for no good reason other than the fact that you're white supremacists and so are they. So make it make sense to me.
well, I think somebody mentioned it earlier. I'm waiting for the moment when Elon Musk and Trump butt heads. I cannot wait, because they're both messy, and they're gonna get to telling business, and it's gonna get real nasty. And Elon already.
But that's already happening.
No, baby, no, it ain't not to the magnitude I'm talking about. I can see. I'm talking about people edge.
Not to the magnitude that you're talking about. That.
I mean,
not to the magnitude you're talking about, but it's slowly chiseling away at it.
Baby hairs on the ground. Yeah, I'm talking about that kind of drag out.
Yeah, I mean, because
when he smacked that spray tan off on.
Yeah, you're right. When they get the windmill in the Oval Office.
When Elon could do that Nazi salute,
baby, I'm gonna laugh at it.
Did anybody but me, I mean, and then he hollering about he's about to sue CNN. I'm like, how you about to sue CNN for reporting what you did? I mean, everybody saw it. That's not natural. That's not a natural thing that that's not a natural thing.
Well, this just came in, y'all. Hold on.
In United States.
So this clip just came in. Hold on, because Carlton, you are right. They have gotten into it, and this clip just came in from the White House that shows the impact of that. Hold on, real quick. This just got in hot news. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all what happened. Hold on.
To Anthony, I get attitude. He gets upset. He gets smart. Who does that? This is your business.
When we initially met and we agreed to do this event, I asked you two things.
You over exaggerated.
No, I didn't over exaggerate.
You came up with a helicopter that's going to come in on this landing.
I said this is a tentative idea.
Anthony promised a helicopter, and it's not happening now. And he won't even own up to the fact that he screwed up. Anthony is super incompetent. Where's Keisha?
Keisha doesn't work. This is my event. You deal with me or you deal with no one.
How about I don't want to deal with you?
Okay, then you need to take your event and your attitude and be checked outside. You don't need a reality check.
No, you need a reality check. You don't have the connections, honey. It's Keisha.
Are you crazy? Google me and do my resume.
You need to get your face out my face.
You need to watch yourself before you get checked.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Trump just said, "Who gonna check me, boo?"
That's gonna be Elon. That's gonna be Elon.
Child, he done already got moved across the street.
Elon gonna tell him, "Bitch, I got you here."
All right, I paid for this.
I paid for you to be here. You old mother.
I'm gonna say it like this: if they do get into it, the PS to resistance would be if he goes up there, if Elon would actually go up there and testify that he gets full immunity if he testifies that Trump committed election fraud. That would be his ultimate get back at him.
You know they stole
I mean, he said it. He said it. Have you not seen the clip?
What's the clip?
From January 19th?
No.
He clearly stated that Elon went to Pennsylvania and that he's really good with those computers. And yeah, we rigged the election. That's why I'm your president. He outright said it out of his mouth on January 19th at his rally that he had.
Hold on, I'm going to look it up and play it.
Because, baby, I had to save the clip to make sure that it didn't disappear off the internet because I couldn't believe that he actually said it out of his mouth.
Hold on. I have found the clip. Hold on. We're going to play it. Hold on. Just came in from the White House. Hold on, y'all. Oh, we got the hot smoking tea. Hold on, y'all. Here we go.
Baby.
Here go the tea. Hold on.
And he knows those computers better than anybody, all those computers, those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide. So it was pretty good. So we're going to also slash something else, the waste in our bloated federal bureaucracy. We will create the new Department of Government Efficiency, headed by a gentleman named Elon Musk, who's here someplace. I don't know where the hell he is. He's here someplace.
Okay.
Come here, Elon. Did you see the rocket yesterday? It was captured. And X is with him. X. Come on, Elon. Say a couple of words.
Okay. Thank you.
My God in Zion. Get my children out of here.
But the problem is you showed the clip of the video, but you didn't actually show the clip of the video where he says he rigged the election. He actually
said at the beginning that he knows those
computers.
No.
He didn't. He said it about the computers, but he actually said we rigged the election. That's why I'm your president now. I will send you. I have the video saved in my phone. I'll send you the video. I can't send it right now because I'm on the thing on my phone. But I'll send it to you where he actually said it. See,
well, my problem is, I mean this for every person of color, every Native American, every Asian, every Latino. I don't mean do violence, but I want every person of color to march on Washington for so many reasons. And to keep it, no, I don't want to be violent, but it needs to be a trillion-person march to show, just to show the sheer power of we're not going to, A, be held to a different standard, if nothing else, and B, we're not going to let these punk-ass oligarchs end up, because they want y'all to believe that Elon Musk is the richest man. Pastor Smalls told us on his podcast, if you think about it, Vladimir Putin has oligarchs that report to him, and he technically is, the richest man on the earth. But this is what's happening over here, and people are just missing it. My thing is, I just want people of color to realize this. What makes you think a billionaire gives a damn about your plight? What makes you think that? I gotta admit, your issues, your everything will not impact my $1 billion. So why would I care about anything you got going on?
RG, I love you to death, but I want you to know the days of Martin Luther King is dead. We following Malcolm X now.
Lord, I ain't going to
we ain't doing no peace. We ain't doing no peace of protest. No.
I'm over there with Chandra. Chandra and me gonna be good. We're
gonna be good.
Tobies.
This is the reason why I state that King marched for so long to get the Civil Rights Act passed, and when they attempted that assassination attempt upon him, people fail to realize he did not die on that balcony. He survived that assassination attempt. They smothered him with a pillow in the hospital that's how he died. And upon the 6 days after his death, they rioted, they looted, and guess what they did? In 6 days, they passed the Civil Rights Act, and them people stopped. We ain't following MLK no more. Because guess what? The Black Panthers, they ain't peaceful no more. We letting the YNs be the Black Panther Party now. We letting them take over because they ain't gonna go for that. But y'all want to know a side note? So a side note, the cartel is actually firing back at the Border Patrol. And they not talking about it in the news.
Are y'all serious?
They did that yesterday. Oh yes, it was a shootout.
This whole shootout.
Oh, this got to be
at the border.
Are y'all serious? Like they said we ain't having it.
Oh yeah. They're not playing. And I am with the new Black Panther Party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm with you when you're right. And I'm with it. Because I'm telling y'all keep being passive. But it's gonna have to be a whole civil war.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And y'all can sit up here hollering about going up yonder and how we got over and all of this. Y'all can sing every spiritual hymn you want to sing, but it's going to take some force. And what's that scripture in the Bible, Carlton, that say we have to take it back by force? We suffer violence, but but we have to take it back by violence. We can't just sit, being passive.
I can't call it off the top of my head, and I want to say we will not suffer by thy own iniquities. I know that's part of it, but I can't think of what scripture you talking about off the top of your head. Because, baby, if y'all know me,
But watch this scripture. Matthew 21:12-13. Jesus entered the temple courts and drove out all who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers, and the benches of those selling doves. It is written, he said to them, my house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers. Hello. So, baby, it about to be some tables. I'm down to turn tables over.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I will flip a table, baby. I will set the whole house on fire and rebuild it from the ground up.
What Bernadine did, it is trash.
I mean, because it's going to take you can no longer sit, be silent. Martin Luther King, I love him. I love every one of his quotes, have them up on a lot of my walls. But it comes a time when we have to, because they cannot stay on our backs as long as we stand up like men and women. Nobody can ride your back if you are standing erect. And that is a fact. And once we learn who we are and whose we are, and that we do have straight spines, and once we stop bending over for these people to ride us, we'll be much better.
You are absolutely right. And I got 2 points that I want to make real quick. The reason why they glorify MLK and they gave him a holiday is because they wanted us to follow their model to be peaceful and not resist for everything that they were doing. But also, I have been seeing a lot of statements about, because they like, since the orange man is acting up, they was like, what is everybody what are the Democrats going to do, this, that, and the third? And I told them, I said, the one thing you got to realize, in my own, the old folks used to say this a lot, when you try and tell people something and they don't want to listen, you have to sit back and let them sit in their own shit and let them smell it for a good little while until they realize, oh, I'm in my own shit now. I want to get out of this. And that's when things will change. Because I posted on TikTok earlier about this same thing. And I said, everybody talking about what are they going to do, what they're going to do. I said, now is the time for the younger generation to pick up the mantle from this dead and dying generation that is going out. If we want things to change, we have to move forward and change them for the ways we want. Because like somebody also said, we keep referring to talking about the founding fathers. The founding fathers from goddamn, except from the goddamn 18th century, ain't got a fuck thing to do with the year of our Lord 2025. Nothing that applies today applies. Nothing that applies today would apply to them back then. If we was to take a phone like this back then, we'd be hangless witches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
all right. So y'all,
the scripture is
Chandra, make your final. This here. Final. We're gonna make our final comment. So we're gonna close on out.
Matthew 11:12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent taketh by force. That's what we got to do.
All right. Carlton, what's your final comment for this week?
Colossians 2:21. Touch not, taste not, handle not.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week, y'all. Stay tuned. We're going to keep on with the conversations. If there's anything y'all want us to talk about, send it over. We will make it happen. So y'all have a good week. And
Happy Black History Month.
Oh, we can't say that. Happy Black History Month. All right, y'all.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
Savannah, are you looking for some of the best Southern soul food? Then check out Kim's Cafe at 714 MLK Boulevard. The food is so good, you'll think that your mother cooked it. Located in the heart of Savannah, Kim's has a menu that includes breakfast anytime, lunch when you need it, and dinner so you won't have to cook when you get home. They also cater all types of events and can host your reserved event at the restaurant. Come see what everyone has been raving about. Great food, great atmosphere, and a great time. Kim's Cafe, 714 MLK Boulevard in beautiful downtown Savannah.